down the basement, lock the cellar door, and baby, talk bloody to me.
Hi, and welcome to another exciting episode of Talk Bloody to Me. I'm Matt,
And I'm Brezzy.
and tonight we're excited to talk about a movie that's currently in theaters. It's getting a lot of buzz, and for good reason because it's awesome, and that is Final Destination Bloodlines.
Hmm. I love it.
I do too. Yeah, some of the people out there that have listened to the last few episodes might be like, "What did these guys ever like anything?" But yeah, we this is a good one.
No,
Um,
yeah, we do. It's just a hit and miss for us.
Definitely, but this movie delivers. It's if you're looking for carnage, just gruesome deaths and gore and violence and that kind of thing, this is the movie for you.
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely.
and we'll kind of give a general overview, but I think it won't be too long before we dip into the spoiler waters. So I just want to say, if you have any interest in, if you're a fan of Final Destination, or if you have any interest in this movie, you should definitely go see it.
Before you listen to us.
Before you listen to us, you can always come back
Yeah.
and listen to us later. But
Yeah.
but with that being said, the general storyline is basically in the true Final Destination fashion. There's an event that's going to cause a lot of people to die, and someone has a premonition about it and prevents it. And then death goes through and reclaims one by one all the people that have died. But in this one, the twist, the bloodlines in Final Destination Bloodlines, is that death is going down the rest of the family tree. So anyone that had kids before death had a chance to get to them is also on death's list.
Yeah, it's similar to the other Final Destinations, but it
Hmm.
has like a little twist to it, which I really, really love.
Yep, exactly. And this movie is really good at messing with you. It like fucks with your head because you know you're watching a Final Destination movie, and in theory you've seen other Final Destination movies, so you know what to expect. And what it is basically it's death, quote unquote, which you never actually see, but it's like the force of death, and it causes these bizarre sort of coincident accidents. One thing happens after another, chain reaction, and then makes something horrible happen and kill someone or multiple people. And so that's kind of the gist of how Final Destination works.
Yeah.
Um, I which Final Destination movies have you seen before, Breezy? Have you seen all of them?
I have seen every single one of them.
And are you a fan of the series?
I am a fan of every single one of them. I do have favorites though.
Oh, okay. I'll ask you at the end where this one falls on the list of favorites.
Okay.
I've only seen one and three. Somehow I missed part two, and I haven't seen any since three. But I saw both of those in the theater. Three's the one with the roller coaster, and the first one is a plane that it crashes on liftoff or something.
Yep.
And part two is the famous log truck that there's tons of memes about of the of if you're ever driving behind a log truck.
Speaking of that, I was behind a log truck, and every time when I see that, I think of Final Destination.
You see, yeah, log trucks are forever ruined because of Final Destination 2,
Yeah.
where a log truck causes a horrible accident. Um, but this movie, because so you know you're expecting because you're watching a Final Destination movie that there's going to be these weird, bizarre, coincidental things that happen, and so like they get in the elevator at the beginning, and the elevator's all creaky, and you're like, oh my gosh, the elevator's gonna fall. They're all gonna fall in the elevator, and then it's like, ding, oh nope, they get off just fine.
Mm.
Nothing to worry about. But the movie like fucks with you, more or less, to put it bluntly. Because
It
and then
didn't
like
really fuck with me though.
oh, really? See, like to me, it like
Yeah.
set me up to like expect things were going to happen, but then they didn't actually happen, but then something else would happen. Or like the guy stand at one point, there's a guy standing in the street, and you're like, oh, he's gonna get run over, and then a car goes whipping by, but misses him, and so you're like, oh, and that's kind of like a callback to the other Final Destination where woman gets hit in the street.
Yep.
But anything else we can talk about before we dip into the spoilers?
You might as well just go right head first into
Okay,
it.
so it starts off in the past. It's like the 50s, and it's a brand new restaurant. I don't even remember what's called. I already forgot. But it's basically the
Yeah,
Space
it's
Needle.
it's called a sky view.
Skyview? Okay, yeah. It basically looks like the Space Needle in Seattle.
Yep.
Um, and so it's the grand opening, and there's a couple there, and right off the bat, like they're going, it's like a train track, and you're expecting someone to get hit by a train, and then the car goes by and nothing happens. See, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about.
Oh,
But
okay.
yep. But they get to the Skyview, and they stuff into the overpacked elevator, and the elevator's all creaky. They get to the top, and what causes the whole disaster? Breezy.
Well, they at first they went up all up to the top, and the young, I want to say she's probably like young teens, 20s,
Mm-hmm.
25 maybe.
Yeah.
It's her and her boyfriend at the time went up there because it was a like a grand opening type deal.
Mm-hmm.
And they went up there, and she was at first she was afraid of heights
Oh yeah.
because she like looked and she got all woozy and all that stuff. And then she was starting to get one of those flashbacks that, oh, there's something that's going to really, really bad happen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then they tend to go outside where this little boy throws this like little tiny little penny.
Yep.
And the guy's like,
Stupid dumb penny.
yeah. And this guy's like, don't do that. What? So I'm so sorry. And
Yep.
yeah, I think she said fat ass or something like that.
Yep. He does.
I'm like,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, then she got kind of little standoffish, scared,
Mm-hmm.
and he actually proposed to her. And
Mm-hmm.
then she said, yes, but she said, so technically she's pregnant.
Yep.
And so they went back inside, and there were a whole bunch of dancing was going on, back to the 50s, probably music.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, like this glass chandelier broke
Yep.
and hit the glass floor, and it started to crack.
Yep.
And
Now,
then
right off the bat, I gotta say, is it a good idea to put a glass floor in your restaurant that's 300 feet up in the air?
no, and it's like see through too, and you can see down below.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh, it'd be kind
Anyway,
of cool, but I kind of like that. But yeah, no,
yeah, exactly.
that's like a recipe.
Yep. So continue.
Okay, so that ends up cracking, and then I would say people were dancing, and then all of a sudden it just shattered, and that's when the whole thing
Hmm.
started to go bye bye.
Yeah. And they show people falling, and like you see from above when they fall, and you see them fall down and like hit things on the way down, and it's like splat, 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 splat. And then it cuts to a ground view of like two guys outside by like a taxi, and they turn on the radio, and it's like raindrops keep falling on my head, and all of a sudden
Yep, and
bodies
that's
are like,
what. Yep, perfect timing.
yep. There, and then the penny, the kid was gonna throw a penny off the thing, and the guy's like, "You're gonna kill someone," and it's like there's always the old myth that or story that if you throw a penny off a high rise, it gets fast enough to kill someone. So that's what you expect is gonna happen when the dumbass kid finally throws it off. But no, it gets sucked into a vent and blown around and ends up shooting out and knocking shit over. And
Hmm.
in the panic, someone runs into a chef who had a flaming frying pan and gets lit completely on fire, and they're running around flaming people.
And there was a song called A Ring of Fire too. So I thought it wasn't the glass broken. So I thought like the Ring of Fire, this whole, you know,
Yup,
upstairs was going to be fire, like legit a ring of fire, which it was on fire too.
yup, exactly. And then they all try. Some people go running down the stairs. The stairs collapse. They go falling to a grisly death. And then they pack into the elevator, and there's not enough room. And then it was kind of the irony of when they first got to the restaurant. The guy at the counter, the maitre d' or whatever, was like, "Oh, sorry, we're full to capacity. We can't let any more people on." And he was kind of a dick about it. And then that guy's trying to get on the elevator, and the elevator operator's like, "We're full to capacity. There's no room." So it's like, karma, bitch. There, take
Yep.
that. But then it's basically the elevator collapses. The asshole kid that threw the penny looks like he made it out okay. He's out on the street like woo, big chunk of tower collapses, wham, knocks him flat.
I think it was the piano did that.
Oh, that's right, it was
I
the
think.
piano. I
Yep.
forgot all about the piano. That's it. That's intense. There's people hanging on, and the piano slides down and crashes into him, busts out, and then the piano falls on the kid. And then the last two left is the woman with the premonition, the main character so far, and a little kid who is there with his mom, who is the singer. And then they fall, and she gets impaled on a spike. And that's just like the first 10, 15 minutes of the movie. There's like
Yeah.
there's like 100 people dead already, carnage galore. It's intense. And
Yeah.
you find out that it was all just a premonition. And she actually stops the kid from throwing the penny, and she yells at people to get off the dance floor, and she actually saves all the lives. But what that does is it pisses off Death. And so now we're in the modern days, and the main character, what's her name? Stephanie, I think.
Yeah.
But she's having dreams about this, the same her dream as the premonition that her mom had. And so
That's
then
so like n- uh the daughter, no, not the daughter. It was her
granddaughter.
granddaughter because Iris is now old
Yup.
and she already had her daughter,
Yep.
and like her mom was like pretty much so psycho that she didn't raise her. It was like her aunt and uncle. So
Hmm.
that's what all happened with that. So it was a little bit of confusing
Yeah.
right there, but you catch on really quick.
Yep, exactly. And so she's having dreams about this premonition that her grandma had. Everyone's like, don't talk to her. She's crazy. All she ever talks about is death. Well, then she goes to go talk to her anyway. And what you find out is that over the years, in the 50 years or whatever it's been since that happened, one by one, all these people that survived the restaurant collapsing have been getting killed in horrible, bizarre accidents. And it's been going in the order of how they would have died. Um, in the actual event. And the grandma's been basically hiding out in a cabin, and she's got this big book that's like her guidebook to death that she uses to prevent death. And she's like, if I ever leave this cabin, I'll die. She's like, this is the only safe place for me. And then the granddaughter doesn't believe it, so she leaves, and she's like, no, you gotta take the book. You gotta take the book. And so then she makes the decision to go outside, and she's like, here, take it. And then she's like, seeing is believing. And then what happens?
And then she gets killed.
Yeah.
The grandmother gets killed.
Yeah. Do you remember how?
Oh man, I forgot how, but
It's
when I think it was something about her, like her mouth, like something went through her
y-
skull and her mouth, and then the blood just went all over the granddaughter's face. I mean, it was like,
it was like covered, like you
yo,
couldn't see anything. What it was there was a weather vane, like one of those things with the chicken on it in the northeast southwest, and like an
oh
arrow,
yeah,
and the
that.
wind picked up really strong, and it blew off, and it somehow hit something that made it like fly, and it busted right through her head, and basically, yeah, her head exploded. Um, so
Pretty
she
much.
she goes to warn the family and says, we're going to die in the order that we were born because death is trying to reclaim the bloodlines. And then the rest is in true Final Destination, a lot of different gruesome accidents and twists and turns. And there's a few plot twists and things along the way. But Breezy, what was your favorite death in this movie? Or your
Oh,
favorite sequence?
I have every single, I like all death scenes. I mean, I can't choose my favorite,
Mm-hmm.
but if I really had to, with, I think that's like their family when
Mm-hmm.
this is close to like the end of the movie where he was
Mm-hmm.
trying to kill this her brother or her cousin was allergic to peanuts,
Yeah.
and the other guy, which he's actually from Grave Encounters too,
Okay.
so that's why I recognized him. But he
Okay.
had like a nose ring and
Yep.
piercings and all that stuff, and they're trying to cheat death. So they were trying to kill this person by eating peanuts, so he pretty much kill himself so he can, you know, beat the death.
Yep. So the idea being that if you die and like your heart stops and then you get resuscitated, that will take you'll cheat death.
Yep.
Yep. So that's what the
Yeah,
game plan is.
yeah, they were in the hospital and they were in the X-ray. No, not X-ray room. What?
MRI.
MRI.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so he took a peanuts and stuff, and he was about just about I don't know there, and he was trying to grab his EpiPen.
Mhm.
Well, the death was trying to up the MRI, and it was sucking all of his metal and like nose ring, and he pulled the nose ring right out of his nose, and he got
Yeah.
sucked into the MRI just right in half.
Yeah.
That is in detailed gruesome death right there.
Exactly. Yeah, the magnetism of the MRI gets cranked up, supercharged, and everything metal starts flying into it. And he goes basically crotch first. And I think maybe he must have had a piercing down there. And it
Yeah,
like,
it wouldn't have surprised me because he has a lot of piercings.
yeah, so all his piercings got him sucked into the thing. And he basically went through the MRI, which is shaped like a big donut, and he went through the hole the wrong way, crotch first, and went
Yep.
and and then uh like this is an example of what I was talking about before. So earlier when they were trying to get the peanut butter cups so that he'd have something peanut to be allergic to, they were shaking and rocking the machine, and there's a sign on there that says "Don't rock the machine," and he crawls behind it, and I'm like, oh, for sure he's gonna get squished by the machine. It's gonna land on one of them. It's gonna crush him. But no, nothing, none of that happens. But when the machine falls back, like the thing that holds the candy and shoots out like a big spring and is hanging there. So then
Yep.
the guy who had the peanut allergy tries to get to his EpiPen. Oh, he's gonna die. Oh, he gets saved just in time. Uh-oh, the magnet pulled that spring right through his head.
Yeah.
Kaboosh.
Yep.
Gruesome.
It is very gruesome. What's
I'm
your
gonna
favorite killing scene?
so my favorite actually just just the way so she's going down the street and she's like, be careful of this, be careful of that, and she's like, oh, that rake could hit that leaf blower and that could blow the soccer ball and it could hit you in the head, and he's like, that's so stupid, that why would that kill me? And then they go and they meet their sister, and a garbage truck comes and she's like, stay away from the garbage truck, and he's like, oh no, the garbage truck. Ugh. And he's like, because at this point none of them really believe her, they all think she's lunatic or something.
Hmm.
And then they're like, oh, okay, whatever. Well, the garbage truck starts going down the street, and they're like, yeah, whatever. And so the sister starts jogging, and you can see it in the background. And all of a sudden, it's like the rake falls, and it hits the leaf blower, and it blows the soccer ball, and it hits her in the head, and knocks her in the
Oh,
garbage can. Oh my gosh, Final Destination! I'm gonna hit my microphone and kill myself here.
Matt's
Eek.
going a little crazy.
Yeah. But she gets put in the garbage truck, and they're all running trying to stop it. They're waving, and the guy's looking at his Tinder and he's listening to music and he's not paying any attention. But the part that really why this is my favorite killing is because she's up the sister is up on the top trying to, and trying to save her, and she has her arm and her head, and then the thing crushes and you see her head like just get right in half, and her arm rips off and she falls off with the arm, and it's like, wow, that was gruesome.
Did you like the ending?
I did like the ending. And did you notice? So the ending, spoiler of the very ending, there was a callback to the log truck because it was logs flew up. There's a train that derails, and it
Hmm.
looks like they survive, and then logs fly off the train and smash them. Call it back to the log truck we talked about from Final Destination 2.
And they pretty much all the family members got killed at this point.
Yep, everyone dies. It's if you're looking for a movie with a happy ending, this isn't it. This is a movie if you want a movie where no matter what you do, death is inevitable. Death comes for us all. You can't beat death no matter what you do. This is the movie for you.
Yeah.
Death is inevitable. We're all fucked at the end. Basically is
Yep.
the
We're all
message.
fucked.
As Roger Ebert once said, this world is going to kill you. It doesn't matter if you have any hopes or dreams or no, just kidding. I'm going overboard again. But
Yeah, you are
anyway,
going over.
but I it's been a year and I'm still going to compare this to In a Violent Nature, because In a Violent Nature was hyped up so much that it was going to be so gruesome and whatever. And Late Night with the Devil too. Last year, those two movies got so much hype, and they both were like, yeah, they were okay, but what they didn't live up to the hype. This movie, I
Yeah, but
think, is
I like the Night of the Devil though. That
I do
that
like it.
was pretty good.
It was good. Oh yeah, don't get yeah, yeah. But what I'm saying is that This movie wasn't hyped up nearly as much, and yet I'd say it was 10 times more gruesome and exciting. Maybe I'm just excited because I saw it recently. I'm hyped up
Hey,
for it.
it's a
I
good
thought
one.
I thought it was really good. Um, One thing too, Tony Todd,
Mm,
Candyman.
yep.
This is his last movie. He passed away after the filming of it. He was sick when they were filming it, and you can tell he doesn't look very healthy in the movie, and they make it part of the storyline that he's sick. Um, and he gives a little
It was
speech.
like a lovely message to his fans.
Exactly. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Is they he gives a little speech and basically the director said, just say whatever you want to your fans. And he's like, enjoy whatever time you have left and don't take anything for granted because you never know when it's gonna come for you.
Mm.
It's like makes me kind of emotional almost. But
Oh, it
anyway,
fits really well with that scene, though.
it does. It really fits with the scene. It could just be right perfectly part of the script, but at the same time, it's also the deeper meaning of what's going on, what was going on with him in real life, and the message to the fans. So
Yeah,
that's really cool too. I mean, that's touching.
it is.
But yeah, Final
What would you rate
Destination.
it?
I would rate it 10 out of 10.
Same here. 10 out of 10. Love
Yep.
it.
I
I love it.
absolutely loved it. And in fact, I loved it so much now I got to go back and watch the other ones that I didn't see, like two and four and five.
How about just wait until we do it when we review the pod on the podcast?
Well, that's a good idea. You talked me
Yeah.
into it. um, I was gonna say something now I totally forgot. Uh,
It happens.
what else? What else did you like about this movie?
I just like how they just instead of the storyline, because you know all like because all the previous destinations, you already know what's going to happen. I'm glad that they kind of put a spin to it. That's
E-
what I really like.
Exactly. Me too. Yep. So there you go. Final Destination Bloodlines.
If you
Um,
haven't seen it, go and see it because it's awesome.
Definitely. Highly recommended. And so that's about it. Any last
Mhm.
words any final words before your death?
No, that's just kidding. No.
um yeah, so please we like and share and subscribe and comment and do all those good things. You can get involved any way you want.
Mhm.
And we love our fans and we love requests. Crypticon's coming in a few months. We got a few Crypticon movies to crank out. And
We've hashed out quite a few of them so far.
yeah, we have. That we have. Yep. All right. Thanks so much for listening.
Thank you.